Okay, Vaibhav. So, welcome to our YouTube channel that is Study Material.
Okay, thank you.
We have started a new playlist in which we will be asking the candidate about their interview experience, whichever they have given regarding any of the company which you have appeared. And this would be quite helpful for our young aspirants who want to give the interview in these reputed companies. So, you are the first candidate whom I am going to interview and ask about your interview processes. So, are you ready
Okay.
for it?
Yes, I'm glad
Yeah.
to
Okay.
support to the aspirants.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, when to begin with, so first, kindly give your introduction to our audience. That which college do you belong to, which stream have you pursued, and in which company you have got selected.
Okay. Hi everyone, this is Vaibhav Agrawal and I have graduated from LNCT Group of College and I have done engineering in information technology and currently I am just working in Cognizant since last year, June 2019 as a software developer and my native place is Madhya Pradesh. That's it.
Okay. So when since you are right now working in the Cognizant, so could you tell our aspirants that what were the interview processes or in the processes went in how many stages?
Okay, so about the Cognizant, so Akash in the mass recruiters companies, there are mainly three rounds. First one is the written round, second one is the technical round, and third one is the HR round. So same case was for me. I have given the interview for TCS, Yes Technology, WorldPay, MDocs, and Cognizant is one of them also. So there were mainly three rounds for each companies. Yeah,
Oh, so you are having a quite good amount of experience regarding various companies.
yeah, you can say that.
Okay, so when you are talking about the first round, so can you tell brief about the first round, what it was all about, and how many students appeared in the first round, and after the
Uh,
first round, how many were selected for the second round?
In my batch 2019 batch, around 1900 students appeared
Oh, yeah.
from the LNCT group of college for the in the for Cognizant,
Hmm.
and out of those in the first round, for around 400 or 500 students got selected for the second round, and finally after the clearing the second round and third round, around I think 150 or 200 students got selected. I don't remember the exact count.
Yeah.
And if you talk about the process for the first step, so it mainly consists of the three sections: English, reasoning, and aptitude. Only these three sections will be asked by every
Oh,
companies
in
in the
the
first.
first round, there is no coding.
Coding, it all depends on the company because
Okay.
if we talk about the mass recruiters like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant, so they generally used to ask only the aptitude, reasoning, and English, no coding rounds. But in the Cognizant, from the last 2 years, they have just started a new section that is the debugging code section.
Okay.
So in this section, they are just yeah. So we can say that in the some way they are just taking the coding round test also, but it's not actually the whole coding round. There is no need to write the coding, so it's
Okay.
not all like that.
Okay.
It's all depend on the company, as I have told you. If you talk
Mhm.
about the big companies like the VMware,
Mhm.
WorldPay, I have given the interview of WorldPay also. So
Okay.
they generally used to ask different another section that is the coding round also. There will be another round that is the coding round.
Okay. So as you have said that in this the first round mainly they are asking about the aptitude and the reasoning. So reasoning and aptitude is very vast in itself. So what are the sources that you have preferred, and yeah, what are the special topic that you would want the young aspirant to work more so that they could excel in this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for the aptitude, I have referred the RS Agarwal, so I think it's very good and it covers all types of question, easy, medium, and high level questions also. So no need to move here and there. Only RS Agarwal is enough. And talking about the English, then SP Bakshi is good. And for reasoning ability, I did not refer any book. So
Okay.
and for the YouTube channel, there are many YouTube channel, good YouTube channel for the aptitude like the Avinash Sharma, Rakesh Yadav. There are many more, so they can just also refer to this.
Okay, so if you can recall that what was the total number of questions that was asked in the first round, and approx means obviously you won't have been told that this is the cutoff, but what is the estimate guess that you could guess off that
Uh,
out of
yeah,
this?
cutoff.
Much
Yeah,
more. What
cutoff
is the cutoff?
according to, yeah, cutoff generally they used to put around 70%. You need to
Okay.
score around 70%, then
Mhm.
you will be in a safe zone. So minimum
Different.
70% should be scored. So then definitely you will just cross the first round.
And do you recall that what was the total number of questions that was there,
Uh,
and what was the pattern? Was that MCQ or what it
yeah,
was?
it's all MCQ. It's all multiple choice questions and no negative marking in
Oh,
Cognizant.
yeah. Okay. Okay. And when I talk about the mode of examination, was that online or offline?
Yeah, it's online.
Online. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. So that's all about the first segment. Now moving to the next segment. That the next
Hmm.
segment you have told about the technical interview.
Yeah.
So, to what depth the technical interview was taken? What was the topic that was of prior importance, and how one should be focusing on that?
So talking about the technical interview,
Yeah.
Akash, so technical interview mainly depends on your resume.
Mhm.
Whatever you have mentioned in your resume will be asked. So there is many very less company or very less interviewer that used to ask some other points apart from your resume. Like in the TCS, if you I give you the example of the TCS, and the
Mhm.
TCS I haven't mentioned AI, big data, but they used to ask me those questions because they were saying that you should be knowing the hot technologies, new technologies, what is the current in the market. So students should be aware of that, so at least they
Okay.
can speak around 5 to 6 lines about that.
Okay.
So and just focus on your resume, whatever the technology, whatever your weak point, whatever your
Mhm.
strong point, you should be working only on those. So
Okay. So, when you talk about the resume, so what was the technology that you have mentioned in the resume?
yeah, actually, Akash, it depends on the person,
Yeah.
but in my in my resume I have mentioned Python, HTML, CSS, web development, and the Java is my strong point, so I focused only on Java, and my whole interview just goes on Java. That's it.
Okay, so when I'm talking about Java, so your overall interview was on Java. So, what was the level of the interview that it was? Was it tricky or it was simple? If you are having the good basic knowledge, then one can clear it, or one needs to have a depth knowledge regarding the subject. So, what was your experience regarding this?
Yeah, yeah. So if we talk about the mass recruiters,
Mm-hmm.
then they generally used to ask the basics question, that your basics is clear or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go for the higher package companies like the VMware or some
Mm-hmm.
other companies, then they will ask the question in the very depth. So you should be knowing everything whatever you just mentioned. If you are just mentioning Python, they will not rely on the basic, that you know the basic, then okay, you will be selected. It's not all like that. You
Okay.
should be knowing every each and detail whatever you have just mentioned in your resume. So in my case, my technical interview asked whole the question regarding my project, and in the technical interview he asked my hobbies. He asked me to explain my hobbies in 15 minutes. He gave me 15 minutes to speak about my hobby. So because I have mentioned the netball, so I should be
Okay.
knowing about all that because it's my hobby. So
Okay.
I would just suggest to every student that please mention only those hobbies, those technologies that you are aware of and that you know, and in which that you are confident.
Okay, so basically you mean to say that one should just stick to the resume. So whatever they have mentioned in the resume, that should be
Yes,
their solid background. So that is
yes,
the
yes,
crisp
right.
what you want to say. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some technical subjects also I want to mention here, that if you
Okay.
students are not mentioning the technical subject, then it's not all like that. The technical interview will not ask the questions about your
Yeah.
technical
Okay.
subjects. Like data structure is one of the most important
Mhm.
subject. Software engineering, operating system, database administrator. About the database administrator, they can ask DBMS, and computer network. Those all important subjects are also there.
Okay. So regarding the resume and your project, I would be asking your brief about that, but that I would be asking in the latter part. So before that, I would be moving to the third segment that you have faced, that is the HR round. So regarding the HR round, many of the young aspirants are having a myth that you can easily manipulate the HR interviewer because you just need to play with the mind. You have to speak anything with just need to be confident when you are speaking, and you can speak anything. So have you experienced such thing, or do you think that it is true, that myth that is prevailing in the
Uh,
young aspirants? Yeah.
no, Akash, it's not all like that. You cannot manipulate HRs because they are experienced guys. They have more than around 10 years of experience. So
Yeah,
you
that.
can. So for HR interview, I can say that they generally used to test your communication skill, your knowledge, and your confidence level also. Only these three things they used to focus in that HR round. So you should be confident, and your communication skills should also be good. So
Okay.
just work on your communication skills, and that's it.
Okay, so can you recall the few questions that were asked in your HR round?
Yeah,
Mostly
some
the
basis question.
similar question is getting asked, but
Yeah,
again, if you
some
can.
basis question. Tell me something about yourself. Where do you see yourself after 5 years?
Uh,
Why Cognizant? Why not this company? Why we should hire you? All these questions, and something about your
so
hobbies, something family background. So just need to check your confidence, as I have told.
okay.
So that's it.
So I have seen that people are struggling with their communication skills. They are having good background. They are having good CGPA, and they are also good in the technical. But they are fumbling in when it comes to speaking English or when it comes for the communication. So any tips you would like to share that how you work
I
during your placements on your communication?
Yeah, they can just practice by your own self, by standing in front of the mirror. They can practice
Yeah.
by writing some. They can just choose one topic daily, and they can write their own, and just speak loudly and record the session, and this can listen by himself. And another process which I just preferred, we used to make a group on the WhatsApp and used to call daily. We just made a group of 6 students, and we did the conference and just discuss one topic daily in English. So that will enhance your communication skill, and it will definitely help you. So I think it is the best idea. So in this way, they can just enhance.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So this was all about your HR round. So now when I talk about the resume, so what was the main thing that you have mentioned? The students, I see that they are confused at whether they should be mentioning their weakness or not, or that they should be just focusing on their strength. Sometime I've also seen that the student are just collecting the certificate of different workshop, although they have no idea about that workshop, and just to make the resume look more beautiful. So what are your tips or guidelines?
So if you talk about the resume, then a resume should be attractive. It's definitely a point of concern. They generally attract with that. And talking about the workshop, unnecessary workshop, so I would suggest that please don't mention the unnecessary workshop. If you have done that and if you have any knowledge about that, then please mention it, and it will just build your profile, and it will just show some impact to the TI HR also. And talking about the, you were just saying that weakness should be mentioned or not. But in my resume, I haven't mentioned any weaknesses, but some of my strength I have mentioned. So strength should be there. Weakness, it depends on you, but no need to mention the weakness, because there should be something different in your resume. I mean to say that HR may be. HR may say that tell me something about yourself that is not mentioned in the resume apart from your weakness or strength. Then there should be something in your life that you can tell about apart from your resume. And that's it, I think. And my I will just drop my resume in the description box, so they can just
Yeah, that would be
spell it.
great, and that would really help
Okay.
the aspirants.
Okay.
Okay, so when I'm talking about that resume, so I have seen that some people are having one-page resume, some people are having two-page resume, and some rare species I have seen they are actually having three-page resume. They are getting a staple and just keeping on writing the more and adding on more and more things. So, what do you think that the resume should be concise or it should be like boasting the things?
uh, According to me, a resume should be concise, because the TI and HR don't have the enough time. Because if we talk about the mass recruiter, here we are just discussing about the mass recruiter. Cognizant is just hiring around 400, 500 students
Mhm.
from each college, so they don't have the enough time to go through the 2 page 3 page resume. So it should be only 1 page resume, and I have also made only 1 page resume. So
Okay.
I think it's, in my opinion, 1 page resume is enough. If you have more content, if you have more project, then you
Mhm.
can go for 2 page, but 1 page is enough. That's it.
Okay. Now coming about your project. So as you have said that project plays a very important role in your technical interview. A lot of question is getting asked in the project. I have also met
Correct.
some of the friend whose complete half an hour or 20 minutes, the complete technical interview was regarding the project and nothing else they have asked. So can you tell about us about the project that what kind of project the students should choose, and if they are choosing any project, so what are the questions that they should be expecting or they should prepare regarding that?
So Akash, in the TI, project plays an important role. In my case, also it is. In my college time, I made two to three projects, and I have mentioned only two projects in my resume. and mainly I have worked on the backend part of each project. So uh, if students are thinking that they have worked on the front end, they have worked on the back end, so interview will ask only your part. So no, it's not all like that, because you are just giving the interview as an individual, not as a group. So they are just expecting that you should be knowing everything about a project. You can just say that, sir, I have worked on the back end, so I have little bit knowledge about the front end, but it's you cannot directly deny, sir, I don't know about the front end, I don't know about back end, because I have worked on the front end, I have worked on this. So you should be knowing every detail of your project, what is the scenario, how it's flowing, working, everything. Connection, even the connection, database connection code also, they may ask that write down the database connection, this is the query, this is the case, this is the table, write down the database connection. So such type of questions can also be asked at the moment, so you should be ready for that.
Yeah, so that was all about the interview. It would be, I guess, it would be quite helpful to the young aspirants. So at the last, I would like to ask you that right now you are working in the Cognizant. How is the work atmosphere? Because the college students are really very excited to have the experience of the corporate life. So what was your experience regarding this corporate life? Yeah.
Okay, so Akash, talking about the corporate life, so it's really amazing. I was very excited to work here. So one thing I just need to tell you that in the corporate life, it's not all like that. Some your teammates are seniors, so they will not help you. So uh, and I am really enjoying it. It's my third project in Cognizant. So that's all about it. So just come and just watch. That's how you enjoy it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a very helpful session, and all the best for your further career and for your tenure in
Thank you.
Cognizant. Yeah,
Thank
so
you. Thank you, Akash.
winding up. Thank you.